World-renowned Michael. Oh my God. World-renowned Michael. Oh my God. World-renowned biochemist Dr. Michael Morbius has a rare blood condition which causes his body to deteriorate. In this review, we're going to dive a little bit into the movie, but there will be no spoilers. So let's get into it. Long-awaited Morbius, directed by Daniel Espinosa. There is going to be a sequel. I really hope that they bring in, like, you know, the Agents of Wakanda and like the whole SHIELD thing revolving Morbius, and then the West Coast Avengers interacting with Morbius and everything. That'd be so amazing to see on the big screen, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me just dial it back. So I was really excited to go see this because as a kid, I read a few of the comics, and I didn't read a lot of them, but just a few. And I know that he has dalliances with like Spider-Man, Carnage, all these other people, you know, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, like all these people are intertwined in Dr. Michael Morbius's world. And it's crazy that, you know, we finally have a live action Morbius movie. So I was really looking forward to it. And then I saw that a lot of reviews were negative about the movie. So I naturally was like, okay, this is gonna be either really bad or really good. So obviously you got to just take into account your own view on things. But overall, I was not that disappointed with the movie at all. I will say that I didn't really like it as much as I thought I would, but it definitely was enjoyable. CGI was fantastic. Anytime there was action on the screen, it was great. It was nice to see Jared Leto really fall into this character, and whenever he was using his powers or trying to use his powers or even just practicing using them, it was really cool to see that. Martine Bancroft was played by Adria Arjona, and she was very, very good as his other doctor partner. You know, she really folded into this chemistry that they had, and I really liked the way that they interacted on screen together. Dr. Emil Nicholas is played by Jared Harris, and Tyrese is in this, playing Agent Simon Stroud with his partner Agent Rodriguez, who is played by Al Madrigal. All of these people on camera really had some decent chemistry. Matt Smith plays Milo, or his real name in the movie is Lucian, but he goes by Milo because that's what Michael called him when they were younger, and they became best friends. So let's dive into the plot a little bit. So as I said before, Michael has this rare blood condition, and he is placed in this special hospital along with other kids who have rare conditions that just need tending to every single day. In that hospital, Michael met Milo, or Lucian, and they hit it off and became friends. Once they grew up, they still remained friends, and Michael finally found the cure, if you will, to his disease, but at what cost did it come, you know? So throughout this movie, we dive into what Michael has gotten into after he got cured, and as you watch the movie and as it goes on, you see that another person finds out about what has gone down. It gets kind of crazy once everything starts happening, and you're just like, wow, this is pretty cool. You know, physically, it looks good. And story-wise, it was pretty decent as well. I just wish they dove into a little bit more things from the comics. But I guess we'll see if there's another movie, which I'm sure there will be. The cinematography was great. I loved the shots of the city, and especially when Michael was using the bat radar. It's amazing to see how they put that in the movie and how it just blended so well, CGI wise, and just perfectly with Jared Leto's face when certain things would happen when he uses his powers. It's really cool to see where we are with cinema now, especially with comic book movies. I will say that one of my negatives with this movie is a little bit of pacing. It seemed that, you know, Jared Leto had little to no issue with learning how to use his powers, which, I mean, you know, that's cool. You know, classic comic book fashion, the hero finds out really fast how to use his powers. But there's other heroes that, you know, it takes them a while to really hone in on some things. And I just kind of wish that he struggled a little bit more. He struggled a lot, don't get me wrong, but some of the victories he had, I was like, you know, that's all right. You know, I'm just glad that, you know, it's a decent enough movie. The acting was really good. There were a few dry humor moments, and I love them because I love dry humor. And there was just a lot of comedic moments that I really enjoyed throughout this movie. Another negative that I'd have to say is that there are a little bit of inconsistencies with some things, but as I said, this is going to be a spoiler-free review, so I'm just going to leave that for whenever you guys watch the movie. You'll probably see what I'm talking about. There's just a few inconsistencies, but it's nothing too crazy. I really don't understand why a lot of people had such a huge issue with this movie. I can kind of see having very significant issues with this movie because, as I said before, not the best movie by any means. I honestly wouldn't even call it a great movie. It's a pretty good movie, you know. It's a pretty good movie, and I love Jared Leto's acting. If it wasn't for him, yeah, this movie would not be good. Him and Matt Smith. If it wasn't for him and Matt Smith, this movie would not be good. Their chemistry was phenomenal, I will say. Well, I love Matt Smith from Doctor Who, and yeah, he is absolutely amazing. So when I saw he was in this movie, I'm like, we're good. But as I said, not the worst movie, but also not the best movie. So would I recommend for you to go see it? As a comic book fan, 100%. Are you going to enjoy your time? I really don't know, because not everybody loved this movie. I didn't love this movie, but I really liked it. I would say go into it with an open mind, and if you don't really know anything about Morbius, maybe do a wiki search, look up some comics real quick, and just get a refresher and see, you know, what you're walking into, so that you can kind of understand it a little more or appreciate it a little more. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for that review. I appreciate every ounce of support. It means a lot. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you can get a notification anytime there's a new video. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Until the next one.